Hey guys, going to make a short vid here showing you how you can bend up aluminum just using some wood and a clamp. I rounded over the edge of this one piece that's higher than the other one. As you can see, one's higher than the other. The idea is to give clearance for the two little tabs on either side to fold in and hide under it. We'll see how that works out. Like all these sort of things where you're doing something for the first time, you gotta kind of estimate that you're probably going to do it more than once. I use the spring clamps just to hold the thing in place so it wouldn't be such a huge pain in the butt when I'm putting it in here. I'm not wrestling with three pieces at once. And then once I got it down, tighten it up a little bit. And it's really not a big deal to bend it over. You pretty much do it by hand. Because if you start whacking on it with a hammer right away, you're probably not going to get the bend you want. And what I do is I keep my pressure down into that little crease so that I really force it right into the part I want. And the reason I put a radius on it is I wanted to make a radius bend. Now if you don't put a radius, you can get a straight bend. Almost. You got to account for the material that's going to give you a little trouble. What I do is I just give it a little love right on the crease, okay? That's pretty much what I was after. It might not be exactly what I want. I might need to adjust it up a little bit because I used an 1/8 inch radius, and what I really want is a 1/16 inch. So I'm going to have a little gap. But I'm thinking I could probably adjust that with the hammer and a block later. So here just to give you a look at what you end up with, okay? Let me move along here so we don't burn up the whole video on one little deal. Now, this I want to have a relatively round bend too. And the way I'm going to get that is, once again, I'll just use the radius piece. This time I'm going to put it just right flush with it so that when it starts the radius it'll bring that crease in a little bit for me. Right. I'll get that in the vise. Try not to pinch my damn fingers. Yeah. This is why I like to use that spring clamp, because you're not fighting with all these things at once. Okay, that's about... something like this. Give it a couple seconds, look at it, make sure you got it the way you want it, because once you get going with it, that's pretty much going to be it. And you're not going to be able to redo the metal or change the metal or whatever. So if you didn't get it square or whatever, then now would be the time to get it that way. Give it some pressure, push it over with the piece of wood again, keep it right in there. Adjust that. I'm going to adjust it now while I still can. Get that piece up a little bit. Yeah, I want that up in it. Get it to go into it some more before I totally screw it up. Now what I'll do is I'll try and get that to lay down at the same level, and it did. That's a beautiful thing. But you'll see there'll be about a 1/16 inch gap because I think I had it up a little too high the first bend, and it's not real tight at the bottom, but I can tighten that up. But that's the start of it. Now get another side here. Tap right in there. Right the way I want it this time. I have to screw around so much, I hope. A little under the surface. Have that there, that there. Okay, hopefully this will be just what I need. Alright then. So again, the bottom isn't quite as tight as I want it, but I might have just been better off not using that radius, but I'm trying to get this radius thing going, so that's kind of messed me up a little bit. As you can see, okay, this is the result of, that's how that works. You sometimes just have to do it a few times until you figure out exactly how the metal's going to work and where you need to have the forms and everything.